Welcome back to Kaizen Trader Sleep. The night has deepened outside your window, and the relentless driving energy of the day is finally beginning to fade into the dark. Listen to the steady, rhythmic sound of the heavy rain falling against the glass. It is a natural, unchanging rhythm, washing away the frantic heat of the active markets, cooling the air, and preparing the world for absolute rest. Tonight, we are going to explore a profound shift in how you perceive your energy and your security. We are going deeper than ever before. For hours, days, and perhaps years, you have carried the immense, exhausting psychological weight of your portfolio entirely on your own shoulders. You have burned your own internal energy to stare at flashing screens, to analyze unpredictable charts, and to worry about sudden global shifts. You have acted as the solitary, stressed guardian of your own wealth. But tonight, in this deep and quiet darkness, that exhausting solo vigil comes to a complete and permanent end. I want you to visualize the vast, invisible architecture of the decentralized blockchain. Right now, at this exact millisecond, millions of powerful machines, scattered across the darkest corners of the earth, are humming with intense, concentrated electrical energy. Massive server farms housed in frozen climates, endless rows of ASICs, and countless decentralized nodes are all running at maximum capacity. They are burning actual physical power. They are calculating complex cryptographic hashes, verifying every single transaction, and maintaining the flawless integrity of the global ledger. This is the ultimate proof of work. The network is expending an incomprehensible amount of heat, electricity, and computational force. And it is doing all of this for one singular purpose: to protect the truth, to protect your truth, to protect the exact, unchangeable record of your ownership. Because the network is working with such overwhelming brute force power, you absolutely do not have to. I want you to truly absorb that realization. The heavy lifting is being done by the math and the machines. Your personal physical energy, your anxious thoughts, your elevated heart rate, none of these things are required to keep your assets safe tonight. In fact, your anxiety is completely useless to the blockchain. The protocol does not need your stress to function. It only requires your silence. It requires your absolute surrender to the mathematics that have already secured your future. As you lie here, fully supported by the heavy mattress beneath you, I want you to consciously transfer the weight of your financial existence over to the network. Feel the tension in your jaw and your neck, the physical manifestation of staring at red candles and sudden price drops. Let that tension slowly dissolve. Breathe deeply into the cool, dark air of your room. As you exhale, imagine passing all of that built-up, stressful energy directly into the digital grid. The network is infinitely strong. It can carry the burden that your tired mind no longer can. The machines are awake, so you are finally permitted to sleep. The algorithms are actively defending the walls of your digital fortress, standing guard with cold, emotionless perfection. They do not feel fear. They do not feel greed. They never suffer from exhaustion, and they never, ever sleep. Allow your physical body to mimic the profound, quiet stillness of cold storage. Feel a wave of heavy, comforting relaxation start at the very top of your head, smoothing out the tight lines on your forehead, relaxing the small, exhausted muscles around your eyes. These eyes that have processed too much data, too many flashing numbers, too much artificial light, let them rest completely in the absolute dark. Let this heavy wave roll down through your shoulders, pushing them deeply into the bed. Feel the massive, comforting relief of letting go of the control wheel. You are no longer the driver. You are safely secured in the deepest vault, miles away from the noise, while the greatest technological network in human history stands perfectly, vigilant outside your door. There is nothing to check. There is nothing to verify. There is only the rain, the dark, and the absolute proof of silence. Sink deeper. Let the network bear the load. Let your mind become as quiet, still, and perfectly empty as the dark sky above. As you continue to surrender the heavy burden of your energy to the vast, decentralized network, I want you to imagine the profound difference between the surface of the ocean and the deepest, darkest floor of the sea. For far too long, your active, waking mind has been trapped on the very surface of the financial ocean. That surface is the traditional, centralized world of fiat currency and manic short-term trading. It is a place of constant, violent storms. The wind howls with breaking news, sudden regulatory changes, and the endless, manufactured panic of the crowds. The waves toss your emotions violently in every direction, throwing you high into the exhausting peaks of extreme greed and crashing you violently down into the crushing depths of extreme fear. Up there on the surface, you are constantly fighting just to keep your head above the freezing water. You are paddling frantically, burning your precious internal heat, trying desperately to control a chaotic environment that is entirely designed to keep you off balance. But tonight, you are no longer on that violent surface. You are finally letting go of the desperate need to paddle. I want you to visualize your digital wealth, your seed phrase, your cold storage. Visualize it all as an unimaginably heavy, flawlessly forged anchor of solid, dark iron. This anchor is completely impervious to rust, completely unaffected by the pressure, and infinitely heavy. The moment you decided to secure your assets offline, you dropped that heavy anchor. And right now, tonight, I want you to feel the profound, physical sensation of your consciousness grabbing hold of that heavy chain, completely letting go of the stormy surface, and beginning to sink. You are sinking down, 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 to the cool, dark water. As you leave the chaotic surface behind, notice how the frantic noise of the market immediately begins to become muffled, distant, and completely insignificant. The aggressive, flashing red and green lights of the exchanges fade into a dim, forgettable blur above you. You are entering a zone of extreme pressure and extreme silence. Down here, the water is heavy, still, and perfectly calm. The storms raging miles above your head cannot reach you in this deep, dark place. The waves of manipulation, the sudden liquidations, the panicked voices of terrified traders, they are entirely, completely powerless against the absolute geological stillness of the ocean floor. As your mind sinks deeper, align your physical body with this incredible sensation of heavy, unmovable weight. Focus your fading attention on the very center of your chest. With your next slow, deep breath in, draw the cool, tranquil energy of the deep sea directly into your lungs. And as you breathe out, imagine an invisible, heavy weight settling deeply into your sternum. Gently, but firmly, pressing your torso down into the mattress. Let that heavy, comforting gravity spread outward. Feel it flow into your hips, anchoring your pelvis solidly to the bed. Let it pour down your thighs, through your knees, heavy and warm, all the way down to the soles of your feet. Your body is becoming as heavy and unmovable as the dark iron anchor resting on the silent ocean floor. There is a profound, almost overwhelming sense of relief that washes over you when you finally realize that you cannot control the ocean. You were never meant to control the ocean. The only thing you can ever truly control is your decision to drop the anchor. You have already made that decision. You have already chosen the unbreakable mathematics of cryptography over the fragile, decaying promises of centralized systems. The anchor has firmly hit the bottom. The chain is pulled tight. Your position is flawlessly, permanently secured in the bedrock of the decentralized ledger. Because the anchor is holding you so firmly, you do not need to struggle anymore. You do not need to brace yourself for the next wave. You do not need to tense your muscles against the invisible threats of tomorrow's opening markets. Let the heavy, dark silence of the deep completely fill your mind. Let it wash away the last stubborn pieces of your daily anxiety. You are perfectly anchored in the truth. You are completely safe in the dark. Give up the fight. Give up the exhausting need to watch the horizon. Sink fully into the heavy, absolute stillness of the cryptographic anchor. Rest in the permanent dark. As you rest here, anchored safely in the dark, I want you to focus on the exhausting, invisible burden of memory. The human mind was never designed to hold the infinite, chaotic data of the global financial markets. Yet every single day, you force your tired brain to remember entry prices, exact percentage drops, historical support levels, and complex mathematical risk calculations. You carry a heavy, burning ledger inside your own head, constantly updating, constantly stressing, constantly terrified of forgetting a crucial piece of information that might cost you everything. This mental ledger is constantly draining your internal energy. It is keeping you awake when you desperately need to rest. It is generating a burning, uncomfortable heat behind your tired eyes. But tonight, in the profound, heavy silence of this digital vault, you are granted absolute permission to completely forget. I want you to visualize the decentralized blockchain not just as a network of machines, but as a monument of perfect, unalterable memory. Imagine it as a massive, dark stone library stretching infinitely into the cold void. Every single transaction you have ever made, every fraction of a coin you hold, every undeniable truth of your digital ownership has already been carved deeply into this cryptographic stone. It has been mathematically verified by thousands of silent sentinels across the globe. It has been sealed permanently within a block of data and buried safely beneath the massive, crushing weight of every single block that came after it. Because the protocol possesses a flawless, permanent, and indestructible memory, your fragile human memory is no longer required tonight. You can finally put down the heavy pen. You can finally close the exhausted, frantic ledger in your mind. The network remembers everything, precisely so that you can forget everything. I want you to feel the immense, physical relief of wiping your mental slate completely clean. Imagine a soft, heavy wave of dark, cooling water washing smoothly over the glowing numbers in your mind. Watch as it erases the red and green candles. Watch as it dissolves the complex, stressful charts, leaving behind nothing but a beautiful, empty, and perfectly silent black space. Let go of your exact entry price. It does not matter right now. Let go of tomorrow's profit target. It does not exist in this dark, isolated room. There is absolutely nothing you need to calculate, analyze, or plan in your head tonight. The blockchain is holding your exact mathematical truth with cold, emotionless, and absolute perfection. It will never misplace a single decimal. It will never forget your private keys. It will never be influenced by the manufactured panic or the extreme greed of the waking world. It simply holds the truth, silently, heavily, and permanently. As your body sinks even deeper into the heavy mattress, consciously release the tight, desperate grip you have on your waking thoughts. When a number, a news headline, or a sudden market fear tries to surface in your mind, do not fight it. Do not expend your precious energy wrestling with the thought. Simply acknowledge that the network has already recorded whatever is important, and let that thought drift away into the heavy, comforting dark. Feel the physical cooling of your brain. The frantic, burning electrical signals of your daily anxiety are slowing down, 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 returning to a state of absolute, peaceful zero. Your mind is becoming a vast, empty, and perfectly dark room. The heavy vault doors are closed. The immutable blocks are stacked, verified, and secured. You are finally free from the exhausting burden of remembering. Surrender entirely to the beautiful emptiness. Let the profound, healing amnesia of the night take over your physical body. Sleep in the perfect, undisturbed silence of the forgotten. As you drift further into this beautiful, heavy emptiness, I want you to visualize the absolute boundary that separates your resting mind from the chaotic world above. You have dropped the anchor. You have erased the mental ledger. Now, I want you to feel the sheer, incomprehensible scale of the protection that surrounds you tonight. In the physical world, we build walls of stone, steel, and glass to protect ourselves from the elements. We lock our doors and try to create a small, fragile perimeter of safety. But in the digital realm where your wealth now rests, the wall that protects you is not made of matter. It is made of pure, raw, concentrated energy. It is a planetary-scale fortress of computation, constructed by billions upon billions of cryptographic hashes every single second. Imagine this computational power as a massive, glowing wall of thick, impenetrable energy, wrapping completely around your isolated vault. Outside this wall, the financial world is a raging, relentless storm. There are institutional manipulators trying to shake the market. There are malicious actors, hackers, and sudden systemic crashes attempting to breach the system. The noise out there is deafening. But when all of that chaos, all of that fear, and all of that aggressive market friction violently hits the outer surface of your computational wall, it is instantly absorbed and neutralized by the sheer brute force mathematics of the global network. The network does not flinch. It does not weaken. It simply calculates the next block, reinforcing the shield, burning energy so that you do not have to. Because this impenetrable wall of energy is standing guard, the space inside the vault, the space where you are resting right now, is a perfect, absolute vacuum of silence. I want you to physically feel the profound difference between the roaring engines of the network outside and the heavy, motionless peace inside your room. There is no threat here. There is no urgency. The primitive biological alarm systems within your own nervous system, the systems that kept you tense, anxious, and alert throughout the trading day, are no longer required. The fight-or-flight response can finally, completely power down. You do not need to fight the market tonight. The machines are fighting for you. You do not need to flee from the red charts. The mathematics have already secured your escape. Bring your fading awareness to the physical boundaries of your own body. Notice the heavy, comforting weight of the blanket resting across your chest. Notice the exact points where your shoulders, your back, and your legs are sinking deeply into the mattress. Just as the decentralized network creates an unbreakable perimeter around your assets, your bed has become an unbreakable perimeter of comfort and safety around your physical body. Allow your muscles to completely surrender to this safety. If there is any lingering tension in your hands, the hands that scrolled through feeds, clicked on charts, and gripped the steering wheel of the day, let them fall open, completely limp and heavy by your sides. Your breathing is now the only movement in this silent room. Make your next breath incredibly slow, drawing the cool, still air deep into your belly. As you exhale, imagine your physical energy dropping to absolute zero. The decentralized miners across the globe are running hot, burning electricity, carrying the massive burden of the network. But you are running completely cold. Your mind is cooling down. Your heart rate is slowing, matching the deep, steady, unhurried rhythm of the block time. You are fully insulated from the heat of the world. The fortress of computation is entirely impenetrable, and your only remaining task tonight is to accept this protection and sleep. Sink into the heavy silence. Trust the math. Trust the wall. Let the deep dark take you completely. Welcome deeper into the heart of the vault. You have been protected by the colossal energy of the computational fortress. Now, I want you to sense the fundamental reality that exists inside this absolute shield. This is not a warm, fluid, or living space. It is a zone of absolute zero. The temperature here is permanently fixed at the lowest level possible in the universe. In this deep, heavy chill, all movement, all vibration, and all change completely cease to exist. There is no decay here. There is no heat generated by panic, nor any friction caused by trading. There is only the flawless, perfectly preserved structure of mathematics, crystallized in the form of eternal cold. Visualize your most valuable assets tonight. Your seed phrase, your cryptographic truth, not as digital data, but as 12 or 24 brilliant raw diamonds, encased perfectly within a massive, transparent block of ancient, immovable ice. This ice is thick. It is heavy. It has been frozen solid since the very creation of the decentralized Genesis block, and it is designed to last forever. Mathematics does not need your permission to hold its structure. It does not need you to keep watching it, checking its temperature, or verifying its integrity. It simply exists, silent, inert, and beautifully, permanently frozen. I want you to align your own physical body tonight with this profound state of eternal preservation. Feel a wave of soft, heavy chill start at the very top of your skull. Imagine it flowing down, slowly freezing your anxious thoughts, turning them into beautiful, motionless ice crystals that simply fall away into the dark emptiness of your mind. Let this cooling sensation move down your arms, relaxing the tight, tired muscles that once desperately gripped the day. Feel your physical heart rate slowing down, 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 matching the slow, deep, eternal pulse of the immutable blocks. You are becoming a silent guardian, frozen in time, protected by the mathematics, and completely exempt from the exhausting need for any further movement. Surrender your weight entirely to this comforting, heavy cold. Sink into the perfect preservation of the eternal ice. Rest. As you continue to sink into the immovable, immutable preservation of the eternal ice, I want you to appreciate the ultimate luxury of the sensory void. You have dropped the anchor. You have erased the mental ledger. You are fully protected by the fortress of computation. Now, in this deepest sanctuary, there is no longer any need for your senses to function. The frantic world above is defined by noise. The noise of screaming headlines, the glare of glowing screens, the aggressive vibrations of notifications. Your nervous system has been assaulted day after day by this relentless sensory data. But down here, in the profound, heavy darkness of the vault, your senses can finally, completely power down. I want you to imagine a space of perfect, absolute vacuum. This is not just darkness. It is the complete absence of light. Your eyes, these exhausted senses that have processed too many flashing numbers and too many red candles, have nothing left to see tonight. Let them rest. Feel the tiny muscles around your eyes completely relax, releasing all tension. Visualize your field of vision dissolving into a beautiful, empty, perfectly silent black space. There are no sudden movements. There are no critical charts. There is only the vast, heavy stillness of the dark void. Next, I want you to relinquish the sense of hearing. The relentless chatter of the market, the manic predictions, the manufactured panics, the conflicting opinions. It is all miles above you. The heavy stone walls of your computational fortress absorb every sound, turning the noise of the world into an absolute, crushing silence. There are no urgent alarms to listen for tonight. There are no sudden global shifts to worry about. The only sound in this entire universe is the slow, steady, comforting sound of your own deep and unhurried breath. Finally, let go of the sense of touch. Feel the very boundary of your physical skin beginning to soften. Imagine the comforting weight of your blanket, not as something pressing against you, but as something merging with you, making your entire physical body feel simultaneously heavy and weightless. The hands that clicked, scrolled, and held the steering wheel are now perfectly motionless, completely exempt from the need for any further movement. Surrender your physical form entirely to the comforting gravity of the mattress. You are no longer a frantic trader fighting the currents. You are a silent observer of your own mathematical truth, insulated perfectly from all heat, all noise, and all friction. The only reality that matters right now is the deep, heavy darkness of the void, and your own unbreakable connection to the immutable ledger. There is nothing to process. There is nothing to decide. There is only the beautiful, silent empty, floating freely in the disconnected dark. Rest securely in the safety of the void. Let the deep dark take you completely. Sleep. Welcome to the absolute center of the sensory void. You have dropped the anchor. You have erased the mental ledger. You have shut down your senses. Now you are lying safely in the deepest, darkest, and most secure vault of your own mind, completely insulated from the heat, the noise, and the frantic friction of the global markets. The machines are awake, burning energy to protect your truth. Outside, miles above your isolated sanctuary, the stormy oceans of centralized systems are raging. But down here, in the unbreakable mathematics of the immutable ledger, there is nothing left to decide, nothing left to analyze, and absolutely nothing left to fear. The air gap is perfectly sealed. You are fully offline. This is the moment of the final confirmation. Bring your fading attention to the very center of your own slow heartbeat. Imagine that your physical life, your existence, and your consciousness are all a single, priceless transaction tonight. The global network of silent sentinels has already received this transaction. They have verified your truth. They have confirmed your mathematical sovereignty. Now, I want you to visualize your existence being sealed within a final, heavy block of data. Picture this block being lowered gently, but firmly, into the permanent foundation of the blockchain library. As the block settles, it is covered, block by massive, unmovable block of time, crushing your last remaining anxiety, burying it miles below the surface, never to be disturbed again. This is the proof of silence. Your truth is now immutable. Your security is flawless. Your future is locked safely inside the mathematics. Feel a final, profound wave of comforting gravity settle smoothly over your body. It starts softly at the top of your head, soothing your scalp, relaxing the delicate muscles around your eyes, smoothing out the tight lines of your forehead. These eyes have finished their job tonight. They do not need to process any more data, any more artificially lit screens. Let them rest completely in the absolute dark. Let this heavy wave roll down through your neck and your shoulders, pushing them deeply, comfortingly into the bed. Feel the massive, comforting relief of relinquishing the control. The hands that clicked, scrolled, and analyzed are now perfectly limp, completely exempt from the need for any further movement. You do not need to stand guard tonight. The unstoppable force of decentralized cryptography is standing guard for you. Trust the protocol. Trust the mathematics. The blocks are stackable, verified, and permanent. Your only task tonight is to accept this absolute security and sleep. Listen to the slow, steady rhythm of the rain, matching the deep, slow ticking of the decentralized blocks. There is only the deep, heavy silence of the cold storage left now. Sink deeper into the void. Let yourself drift entirely into the dark, empty. The market is gone. The connections are severed. You are perfectly offline. You are perfectly secure. Rest in the ultimate confirmation. Sleep. Sleep. Sleep.